Uh, Good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to all the distinguished faculty member, respected colleagues, dear student, and participant who have joined us today. It gives me immense pleasure to host this exciting and insightful session webinar on career pathway in biotechnology and bioengineering beyond academia. This event is being organized by the Department of Biotechnology and Bioengineering, School of Biosciences and Technology, and the Institution Innovation Council, Galgotias University, Uttar Pradesh, under the vision of fostering innovation, entrepreneurship, research, and future-ready career in life science and biotechnology. So I would like to take this opportunity to invite our respected Dean, Sir, School of Biosciences and Technology, Galgotias University, to kindly address the gathering and share his word of wisdom with us. Welcome you, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is my voice audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. A very warm good evening to all the participants who have joined this session for this webinar on career pathways in biotechnology and bioengineering beyond academia. So this is going to be a great webinar for all of you because you all are young minds, you all are the budding biotechnologists, and Galgotias University is very proud to have all the budding biotechnologists who are going to have very good career. Our management is very, very supportive, and we all get a lot of support from our Honorable Chancellor, sir, and Honorable CEO, sir, always. So the point here is that these webinars are very, very important for all the participants. And I feel that you must know about what are the opportunities available to you in the field of biotechnology and bioengineering and what else you can do. There are different opportunities for you, like you have opportunities in the field of production, you have opportunities in the field of research, then quality assurance and quality control, as well as you have so many other opportunities in other fields as well. So for this we have the speaker of the day, Ms. Shreya Malik from Vadwani Innovation Foundation, and I'm sure she's going to talk a lot about all these different aspects, and you all are going to learn a lot from this webinar. So this is going to be a very exciting webinar for all of you, and I would like all of you to come forward and ask questions, be inquisitive, and ask and clear your doubts. And I would also like to congratulate the organizing team, Dr. Gaurav, Dr. Sumedha, Dr. Anjali, and all the members of Department of Biotechnology and Bioengineering, School of Biosciences and Technology, for coming forward and bringing out an exciting topic and an exciting webinar for our students. So we would continue to host events like this, and we would continue to make you people updating and make you people aware of the recent trends in the field of biotechnology, bioengineering, and other allied sciences. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir, for gracing this occasion and sharing your word of wisdom with us. These are truly inspirable for the participant and the faculty member. Under your wisdom and under your true leadership, we are growing and we are trying to emerge as a best department. So thank you once again, sir, for accepting our invitation. Now we are truly honored to have with us our distinguished guest and speaker, Ms. Shreya Malik ma'am, Program Head, Life Science, Vadwani Innovation Network. So Shreya Malik ma'am is working as Program Head, Vadwani Innovation Network at Vadwani Foundation. Her key role is to facilitate and accelerate the commercialization of academic research in cutting-edge domains such as health tech, AI, bioengineering, and quantum technology at the Innovation Hub established at leading national institutions. Shreya ma'am is a seasoned professional with 15 years of experience in innovation management, entrepreneurship development, grant management, capacity building, fundraising, stakeholder engagement, and program implementation. She has collaborated with startup, innovator, faculty, researcher, policymakers, funding, and industry leader, gaining deep insight into the innovation ecosystem. Her diverse expertise span role at IIT Kanpur Startup Incubation Innovation Center, Regional Center of Biotechnology at NCR Biotech Science Cluster, Biotech Consortium India Limited, and Intas Biopharmaceuticals. She has also been a part of flagship international programs like Stanford India Biodesign, Welcome Trust India Initiative, among others. And she has been instrumental in mentoring several biotech, health tech, and agri-tech startups through their entrepreneurial journey at IIT Kanpur. So we are welcome you, ma'am. Um, Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. A very, very warm good evening to everyone, to all students and faculty members present over here. First of all, I would like to start by thanking Galgotia University, especially to Professor Gaurav Kumar and to all the other faculty members and team members at the Department of Biotechnology and Bioengineering for extending such a nice invitation to me. And we are doing this session online, but I would be happy to visit the university in person next time and interact with all of you. Thank you so much.
Sure,
This is a
ma'am.
very important topic,
Thank
and
you,
I
ma'am.
hope students have a nice and insightful session.
So, on behalf of Galgotia University, I extend a heartfelt welcome to you, ma'am, and we are eager to hear from you your experience and vision for shaping the future career pathway in the biotechnology and bioengineering. So, now you can share your screen, ma'am.
Sure, thank you so much. So, students, I hope you're excited for this session on alternate careers in biotechnology and STEM in general, because that's a very important topic. And as Professor Gaurav Kumar had apprised me that we have a diverse group of students. We have students from bachelor's program, master's program, PhD program, and all of you are at such important crossroads to decide what career options are out there, what to do. And I hope that this session is useful to you. So, just a brief snapshot that what all the presentation will cover. We'll be setting the context in the first half of the presentation, then how to do career exploration, how to make career choices, and how to make informed career choices. Then the third part of the presentation will cover overview of different alternate careers in STEM, and interestingly, in the fourth part of the presentation, I have put together few examples of alternate careers and actual examples of people who are pursuing these alternate careers. And then we have a small way forward. So, setting the context, would love to share with you that the Indian biotechnology sector has been expanding rapidly. The GDP value of the Indian biotech sector last year was $165 billion. And this was driven by advancements in biotechnology, healthcare, biomanufacturing, bioservices, agri-tech. And it's interesting to know that more than 10,000 startups are there working in core biotechnology, and new startups and innovators and technologies are being added every year. However, sometimes when you speak to students and companies, people talk about not finding the right jobs, or people are not able to find the jobs that they like. So somehow, despite of the high GDP of biotechnology or any technology intensive domain, there seems to be a supply and demand gap. or students are not able to figure out where they want to go, what they want to do, or what are the jobs out there. So when we look at the traditional careers in biotechnology, what would be the traditional careers and what are the careers which are already being pursued by the earlier students who pursued biotechnology? So it can be faculty positions, it can be scientist positions, faculty positions in central government universities, state universities, private universities, institutes of national importance, colleges. And what would be the scientist positions? They would be in different research institutions. Now, research institutions also can be categorized as central research institutions, state research institutions, non-profits, trust, philanthropy organizations. So these are, as students, you know that these are separate category. For example, Vadhwani Foundation is a philanthropy organization, and we have scientists working on different innovative areas. There are trusts like Tata Trust, Infosys Foundation, FAST Foundation. So these are, alternate options where there are a lot of scientist positions coming out. But then what is the scenario with traditional careers in biotech and why one needs to have knowledge of alternate careers as well? So a lot of PhD students, postdoc students have there are news articles that they are leaving academia, they are pursuing entrepreneurship. Sometimes the recruitment process in academia is also quite elongated, and many times on completion of their long research journey, they feel that maybe our aspirations are not towards research, they are towards other non-research careers. So because of it, there is a lot of interest among students in alternate careers. So like I've mentioned that there are limited permanent positions in academia and research. There's low hiring and delayed career progression also. There is intensified competition. So there are very few seats and there are many applicants. So only few candidates get those permanent positions. Also, a lot of women candidates face relocation due to marriage or other social obligations. And not just women students, but also male students to take care of their homes, take care of their parents, or other family obligations. They are restricted to certain cities where there may not be job opportunities. There can be lack of support to manage family responsibilities, or there may be gender bias or some kind of an exclusionary work environment. So because of this, one needs to broaden the mindset and look at different career options beyond academia and research. So, having set the context and having set the stage that there are several career options and one should be aware of it. Now, moving on further to the second part of our presentation, that is career exploration. So, now when you have made up your mind that I am at a crossroad and I need to figure out in which direction that I have to go, so then what should you do? So this is an very interesting chart. So if you look at the first point, you assess your skills, interest, and strengths. So it is very important that as a person, one should be aware that what skills do I have, what interest do I have, and what are my strengths. For example, when I did my master's in biotechnology several years ago, what I assessed about myself is that I do not have the patience or the tenacity to do research or work in a lab. And I started pursuing an alternate career 17 years back. But then I had few colleagues and friends with mine who were very good in designing experiments, who were very good in analyzing the research data, and they were very curious to arrive at a fundamental question and find answers to that, and they've had such fantastic and wonderful careers in research. So it is very important to understand yourself, what you are, what you can do, and what you would like to do in the future. Coming to the second point, that find information on diverse career options. It is very important that you know what all is out there in the market, and what kind of options are there, like this kind of a webinar and similar talks, and then understand the educational and skill requirements. So, for example, if you want to become a science communicator, you want to do science communication. So then you need to understand that what are the educational requirements and what are the skill requirements. So how can you do that? You can just Google a job recruitment for science communicator, and you can see several advertisements for call for applications, and you can see that what has been the eligibility criteria, what has been mentioned, whether they require a BTech or MSc or a PhD or a postdoc, and in skill sets, what all do they require? Good oral communication skills, Canva skills, Adobe Photoshop skills. So similarly, if there's some kind of a position or role that interests you, you can look at the advertisements in the newspaper or websites, that when they promote these advertisements, what kind of requirements do they advertise. Coming to the fourth point, try out and experience different roles. Yeah, even when we were students, and plus, these days when I've been working, every other day we get requests from so many students that they would like to do an internship and please take us, or please refer it to some other company. So as students, you should always be on, watch out, or who's offering internships, or there is some companies nearby who can offer internships, or you can speak to your HOD, your professor, your faculty, if they have any connects in the industry, and if they can help with placements for internship and summer training or winter training. That will really help you out in understanding that how the industry functions, or how any research organization functions, and whether do you like that or not. Coming to the fifth point is consider your lifestyle preferences and vulnerability in the job market. So, how the world functions, and how whatever the stability in the world was there 20 years ago, 30 years ago, it's not the same anymore. There are so many changes and coming every single day, and there are so many technology advancements coming every day or every year. There's some new technology, there is something with new that's happening. So one needs to understand that what you decide today, maybe 5 years down the line, you will have to maybe change the course of your career a little bit to be updated. So it is very important to know that. Then coming to the sixth point, evaluate your own goals and likes and dislikes, what you want to do, what you don't want to do, and then pursue effective guidance, mentorship, and networking. Guidance, mentorship, and networking is lifelong. Your People say that your network is your net worth. So it is very important to meet new people, talk to new people. So if you are a bachelor student, talk to your master student. If you're a master student, talk to the other PhD students. If you're PhD students, please talk to the alumni who has passed out from your department. Know where they are, what they're doing, what they did better, what they did not do better, so you avoid those pitfalls. And the eighth point is keep upskilling and continuously learning. So, like I've mentioned, that there'll always be vulnerability in the market, so you will have to update yourself. So this is how, this is sort of kind of a pathway that you follow, and then you come up with three options. So you should, when you decide career options, you should decide three things. Career option A, I will do this. For that, I will work towards this goal. If A does not work out, then I will do B. And if B doesn't work out, then I will do C. तो आपने ऐसे जो है तीन चीजों की लिस्ट बनानी चाहिए. So now we have a very fun activity for all the students. So I would request all of you to please take your phones and scan this QR code. So we have like a 4-minute survey on career readiness for employment in biotech industry. This is for students to understand whether what skill sets are required, whether do they have those skill sets or not. So, Professor Gaurav, can we request the students to take the survey along with the seminar?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You can. I have muted them all. If you will allow me, then I
No,
will.
so they just need to scan this QR code
Yes, yes.
and and they'll be able to take the survey. So students, I'm giving you 4 minutes. It's 7:27. So we have time for 4 minutes till 7:31. I request you all you take the survey and then we'll discuss the results of the survey. Please scan the QR code. If anybody is facing a problem, please let me know.
Ma'am, QR code is not working, I think.
Okay, it's not working.
Uh, it is showing like that. Um, watched some to continue. I think watch one short video
Okay,
and
students. So I will share the link with you later after the webinar, and you can just circulate it amongst the students.
okay, okay. So some are
Sure.
okay. So it is about the Netflix shadow and bone like that.
No, no, this was an employability survey. Is it not opening?
I think some participant. Uh, yes, some participant saying that it is working. Some are yes, it is
No
working.
issues. Is it an employability survey that's opening? I don't think it is working. Uh, Dr. Gaurav?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so I don't think it's working. I'll send you the link later. You can
Yes,
share it with the
after
students.
skipping skipping it is working, ma'am.
Acha.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there an employability survey which opening?
Yes, 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 ma'am. So I am posting the link to the chat box so participant can easily navigate.
Sure, sure. So you can just put it on the chat box and then we can move on with the. So students, while you're listening, you can also fill the survey and then we'll discuss that. So as you fill that survey form, what Dr. Gaurav will continue, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You can.
Yeah. So students, as you'll fill the survey form, what you'll see is that what are the employability skills required for a career in biotech industry. So it's not just subject knowledge and technical domain skills. It is also data analytical skills, industry specific skills, communication, interpersonal, teamwork, collaboration, creativity, critical thinking, problem solving, good academic record, a good record in your own university is also important. Applying subject knowledge in practical scenarios, knowledge of commercial production, designing experiments and analyzing research data, using statistical tests and bioinformatical tools, and knowledge, some knowledge, basic knowledge of IPR, sales, regulatory compliance. So that time where we used to do a bachelor's or a master's, and we just knew about molecular biology, cell biology, or certain things, that time is behind. And now, as a graduate or as a postgraduate looking for a job, basic working knowledge of all these things, or a certain these kind of skill sets is expected from all candidates. And it's not just a job in an industry, but even if, for example, if you sit in an interview for PhD program, so many of the interviews require you to first give an entrance exam and then present to a committee. So there the committee judges your communication skills, your subject knowledge, domain skills. How do you apply subject knowledge in practical scenarios? Do you know how to use statistical tests? So depending upon which career pathway you want to take, maybe some things are required in some career pathway more and in some career pathway less. But this is the entire bouquet of skills required in careers nowadays, in careers in the future. So we have looked at that what is the pathway to decide on a career option, and now we have looked at the employability skills as a whole. What are they required? Now, in the next part of the presentation, I would like to share few snippets of alternate careers in STEM. So these are some of the different alternate careers that I'll be covering in the presentation today. In fact, there are few much more than these, but let's just cover these ones. And all these alternate careers, in fact, they require an hour's presentation on each module. So I would be giving an overview, and then later on, if there is any module that we need to cover in further detail, I'll be happy to do that as well. So starting with the first one, that's intellectual property rights management. So what is IPR? I'm sure in your curriculum, in the new age curriculum, and Galgotias University is has really high standards, and I'm sure they'll be teaching you about IPR and entrepreneurship. So IPR covers not just patents, trademarks, industrial design, copyright, and any technology innovation is protected through IPR. So you would be reading that in your academic programs. So what are the career options out there? You can become a patent analyst or a trademark analyst, patent lawyer, patent examiner, technology transfer specialist, patent drafting specialist, and IP manager. What are the educational qualifications required? So you can be a bachelor's or a master's or a PhD, and then after that you can do courses in patent law, trademark law, industrial design, or you can do a combined course in IPR. There are several universities which are offering these kind of courses. For example, I have done my PG diploma in patent law from Nalsar University, Hyderabad. But similarly, in Delhi, in NCR and online, there are many universities offering these kind of courses. And what would be the roles and responsibilities under IPR management? So if you're a patent analyst, so then your role would be to go through the prior art. Prior art is all the patent applications in a particular area which are out there, and analyze these patent applications, do a freedom to operate prior art analysis, give report to your senior management or to your client that okay, you want to file a patent in this area, but these are all the patent applications which are there, and one really requires very good technical skills as well as very good analytical skills in this area. So even in IPR, there are several options. So analyst does this. What do patent lawyers do? So patent lawyers have an additional degree of LLB. So I have couple of friends who have done their PhDs also. After PhD, they have done their LLB also, and they help in filing these patent applications or trademark applications or any form of IPR. And since they have a law degree, many of them are associated with law firms who are patent examiners. So they work on behalf of the government. So if I have submitted a patent application, the patent examiner will check it, examine it, verify it, and decide whether to grant a patent on behalf of the government or not. Now, coming to a technology transfer specialist. So when you look at the technology management cycle, when a faculty member or a scientist have developed a technology, they can transfer that technology to an industry. So there are technology transfer specialists who help in that process, in identifying a licensee, in negotiating with them, in valuation of the technology. So that is also a career. Then IP manager. So there are lots of institutes, lots of government agencies, incubators who have IP managers which manage the entire IPR portfolio. So these are some of the roles and responsibilities of IPR management, and who would be the potential employers. Like I've mentioned that there are several law firms which focused and work on IPR, like Khaitan and Co, Lakshmi Kumaran, and Sridharan, and then there is Khurana and Khurana. There is Majumdar and Co. There is RNA Associates, and there are so many. Similarly, the second is in-house IP divisions within biotech, biopharma companies, and MNCs. Like I started my career as an IP analyst with Intas Biopharmaceuticals. Similarly, there are so many other biotech, biopharma, medtech, companies who have their in-house IP divisions, and with quite a good strength. IP consultancy firms like EvalueServe and many others, and government bodies, ICMR, DST, TIFAC, many of them have specially IP positions. Universities, institutions, incubators, all of them have IPR cell. Like when I used to work in IIT Kanpur had 4-5 people just in their IP division managing the entire IP of the institute. So similarly, others also have it, and there are incubators also which are who have them. International organizations, and the best part is independent consultancy. I have several friends who are working from home, helping in patent drafting, doing a work from home business quite successfully. So with this, we have covered IPR management, and if there are any questions pertaining to this, I will take it at the end of the presentation. So moving on to the next alternate career, which can under STEM or biotechnology, is research administration and management. So this is very interesting. So what kind of positions are there in research management? Research manager, grants manager, scientific officer, policy analysis, ethics and integrity, incubation manager, policy expert. So what do all these positions do? They oversee planning, coordination, execution of research projects, manage research budgets, grant proposals, compliance with funding regulations, facilitate collaborations between scientists, institutes, and administrative bodies, monitor project progress, ensure timely reporting, support strategic research goals. So, several universities, institutes, non-profits, so they have research managers. So, because you would have seen that faculty members, even at Galgotias University, they have several grants from different funding agencies. So now what several universities and institutions have started doing is that they have started to establish a research management cell within the university, which manages all the grants and research projects of that department or that university of that school, and also fellowships received by the students, They monitor the progress, timely reporting is being done or not. So that is at the level of the university. On the other side of the table, these jobs are available in government agencies, in science funding agencies, in philanthropic organizations, in science parks. So, for example, I work for a funding agency. So, I'm on the other side of the table where we do research management, we initiate call for applications, we give grants. So, that is what we do on the other side of the table. Similarly, research management jobs are available at science parks, at innovation clusters, at incubators, at think tanks, and science policy institutes. So, like I've mentioned, that there is Convergence Foundation, FAST Foundation, think tanks like Observer Research Foundation, and the PSA office, Principal Scientific Advisor Office, has a lot of centers for policy research. There are more than 500 incubators in the country. There are so many innovation clusters and science parks. And incubation managers of managing startups, managing science entrepreneurs is also an excellent career choice. So here we have covered research administration, means kind of a scientific management jobs. So the third one is coming to scientific entrepreneurship. So this is the most favorite one amongst all students, startups. Startups is the latest buzzword, and all students are very much interested to look beyond their academic programs and join their startups. So the of course, we've been listening to startups and hearing about startups since last 10 years, but the question that I get from students कि मैम shortcut बताइए कि कैसे और right strategy बताइए that we are successful. So this is what what I'm just covering through this particular slide. So if you are a bachelor student or a master student or a PhD student, whatever, but how do you know? First, I think you should identify whether you have the skill set to become an entrepreneur. I would like to say that yes, entrepreneurship is great. You are into self-employment, but then first you need to identify whether you have the right skill set to become an entrepreneur, because in entrepreneurship you need to do everything on your own. So nowadays there are lots of entrepreneurial fellowships available by the government of India, and a lot of universities also provide student entrepreneur fellowships. You may ask Professor Gaurav Kumar whether what facilities and fellowships that does Galgotias University offer. There are lots of student innovation grants out there. So one should also. So how do these fellowships work? These fellowships work like JRF, that this is a fellowship for 1 year where you get an entrepreneurial stipend every month and some innovation grant like 3 lakhs or 5 lakhs. And then you can try out some idea, and you should see whether you are able to work on some innovation and make some progress. You should give yourself 1 year's time. If you're able to make progress, or if you like doing this, so then you should move ahead. And in this regard, there are lots of ideathons, hackathons, entrepreneurship competitions being organized by several agencies. For example, next week there is a biotech entrepreneurship competition being organized at MIT University. So similarly, few weeks ago, I was a jury at a healthcare hackathon at IIIT Delhi. So keep searching, keep looking for these kind of places where there are entrepreneurship competitions, hackathons. Participate at all these places so that you realize that what is product development, how to develop a product, how to develop a business plan, how to raise funding, what all goes into forming your own startup, and you'll work in that direction and you'll understand whether you are there or not. For example, many years ago I participated in a hackathon. Hackathon में क्या होता है कि वो एक आपको problem statement देते हैं, they give you some limited time and you have to come up with a idea or kind of an idea for a product or some prototype. And after 2-3 days, I realized that I have no creativity and I just couldn't come up with anybody. But at the same time, when I participated in a hackathon with 300 students, and there were 100 great ideas and they had developed so many things, and I just realized that there was so much of passion and determination, creativity amongst those students. So please participate in these kind of events and you will come to know. So forming a startup, joining an incubator are small entities within universities which help the students in forming their own startups and taking their ideas ahead. So quickly I'll share with all of you is that the pathway generally that we understand of forming your startup is that आपके पास एक आइडिया है, आप उस आइडिया पे वर्क करते हो, आप एक टेक्नोलॉजी बना रहे हो, आप एक प्रोडक्ट बना रहे हो, या आप एक सर्विस प्रोवाइड कर रहे हो, एंड दिस इज व्हाट योर स्टार्टअप इज. But generally students ask me that मैम बायोटेक्नोलॉजी में तो जेस्टेशन पीरियड जो है प्रोडक्ट बनाने का, आप प्री क्लिनिकल ट्रायल्स करते हो, क्लिनिकल ट्रायल्स करते हो, लाइक टेक्स 10 years 15 years, वी डोंट नो कब जो डायग्नोस्टिक किट है, प्रोडक्ट है, वो मार्केट में आएगा. So I would like to share a small shortcut with you guys is that uh, when you form a startup, it's not necessary that you work on the same, you have to develop your own product. There are excellent technologies out there for technology for transfer. In they may be in your own university, they may be in other universities. So you can license that technology from a faculty member or a scientist or someone else who has already developed it, and then you can take it to the market. So when you do an entrepreneurship, it's not necessary that you develop the product on your own. At IIT Kanpur, when I was working with the startup center, we had such amazing technologies which were developed with the faculty members, and there were many startups who came to the incubator and said, okay, see, we want to become an entrepreneur, we want to start an enterprise, please let us know which are good technologies, and we have the skill set to market them, and we will take it to the market. So they had the faculty member or the scientist as an advisor and mentor to guide them on how to use the technology, and it was a perfect combination of technical expertise and marketing expertise. So this is a food for thought for all of you, that this is also another way, a quicker way of forming your startup and coming to the market. Right. So moving on to the fourth and the most important sector, that's the biotech industry. And a lot of students ask me, and in fact, when I give this presentation in person, I hide the left section on roles and responsibilities, and it used to be my favorite question to ask the students कि आपको पता है कि एक बायोटेक कंपनी में कौन से सेक्शंस होते हैं. And few years back, sadly, nobody could say other than R&D. So, students, I would like to share with you that in a biotech, when you go to a biotech company, R&D is the smallest department, but the biggest departments are regulatory affairs, quality assurance, quality control, manufacturing, production, business development, business communication, IPR, legal affairs, clinical affairs, marketing, sales, operations, and supply chain. And all of the people who are employed in these divisions are not from non-biotech or non-technical background. They are people from technical background with some additional qualification or additional skill set working in that area. So that is very important to understand that when you're looking for an industry job, these are some of the departments which are out there, and you will have to work towards getting an internship or a placement in these divisions in a company, and that is why internships and placements and trainings are very important. So when you look at the biotech Indian biotech sector, they are basically, it has been divided into 4 segments. Biopharma covers all these biopharma products, therapeutics, medical devices, drugs, vaccines. Bioagriculture is seeds, biofertilizers, biopesticides. So basically, they are called biostimulants. And bioindustry. Bioindustry is enzymes, cosmeceuticals, and bioethanol. You must be reading about bioethanol, about the new blending, petrol blending policy, and bioservices. In fact, the Indian sector, after biopharmaceuticals, it is bioservices which is being bringing the revenue. So, what is bioservices? If you look at this slide, bioservices is contract research, clinical trials, biotech software and databases, working with specialized equipment, and bioscience education services. So, for example, I am a biotech company and I want to get preclinical trials done, and I don't have that knowledge. So then I find a contract research company based in India and who will help me with those particular skill sets. So like that, I am a company and I want to use AI modeling for my drug design. So I find such a company who will do that. So India has really good strength in bio research, bioservices, bio IT, and computational biology, and also pharmacodynamics and pharmacokinetics testing, and a lot of companies from other countries are outsourcing that work and using the expertise of our companies for that, and that's a great sector. Also, what's happening is over the years, large pharma and biotech companies are realizing that we can't do means जो पूरा जो pipeline होता है drug development का, product development A to Z, they've been realizing that we can't do everything. So they sort of, C2D will take help of this company, R2S will take help of that company. So they have been using the services offered by these companies for their product development. So these are the several subsectors of biotech industry. So when, as a student, if you go out and look for jobs, so you would know that these are the different kind of options that are out there. Otherwise, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, if we asked a student ke acha please koi biotech company ka naam batao, तो Biocon was the only name that came into their mind. But now you know कि diagnostic company अलग है, अगर CAR-T cell therapy की बात करें वो company अलग है, bio industry में Novozymes अलग है. There are so many companies in bioplastics. There are so many startups that are coming up. So here I would also like to add that when we think of working for a biotech industry, we just think of really like large companies, billion-dollar companies. ऐसा नहीं है. I know a lot of people who go to work with startups also, where there's more flexibility, and who go for to work with large companies also, and medium-sized companies also. You just need to do a search of where you are living, which companies are nearby, वो क्या क्या करते हैं. Also, I would like to add that a lot of our Indian biotech companies do less of R&D and more of operational activities. So students should be open for a very open mindset about the role that they would play in a particular company. So moving on to the fifth module on alternate career is science, communication, and outreach. So I meet a lot of students who have such outgoing and extrovert personalities, and they really like in communicating science and how to make it more easy to understand for the lay person. And a lot of jobs are coming out in science communication and outreach. In fact, what we are doing today is also a form of science communication and outreach. So who would be the employers? Research universities, institutes, science museums, centers, media and publishing companies, government agencies, non-profits, biotech and pharma companies. There are specifically science communication firms and independent consultancies. Like recently, there was a job opening at the National Brain Research Center for a science communicator. Regional Center for Biotechnology also hired a science communicator recently. And like I mentioned, that there are other biotech pharma companies and independent consultancies where they already have science communicators. Now, what do they have to do? They will write policy booklets, they will create social media pages, and they will create good engaging content, for example, to promote what their department is doing, what the faculty members are doing. So it is very important that students have good domain knowledge and good analytical skills, at the same time also communication skills for these kind of jobs. So coming to the next point is fund management and investment. So like I've mentioned that in biotechnology or in any STEM career, there are universities and research institutes which apply for grants, and there are these career options within an institute or a research university or any consulting firms to monitor these grants. And at the same time, there are these jobs within government agencies and foundations and funding bodies, uh, where we are fund managers. So in my present role also we do fund management also, and good working knowledge of how financials work, how do we monitor expenditures about GST, GFR, preparing financial reports is required. Now there are new jobs coming up in consulting firms like McKinsey, Deloitte, where they hire people with knowledge of biotechnology as well as financials to do a lot of technology forecasting. A lot of venture capital firms which does investments in startups are also hiring people with have a knowledge of biotechnology and also financials, to identify good startups in these areas. A very interesting role that has come up in last 5 years specifically is science policy and global engagement. So since the policy where the government has opened up our country for the global university to set up campuses in India, since then, there are campuses, there are universities, global universities from US, from UK, from Australia. All of them are setting up campuses in India. And the best part is that they have their country India offices or South Asia offices is also over here, and they are excellent opportunities for employment. Like just 3 4 days ago, there were representatives of Deakin University. It's an Australian university, and they visited us. They visited my office, and I was so surprised to know that they have a 70-member team in the country, and also they have a campus in Gujarat, and they employ so many people over there. So that's just one university. There are other 20 universities from Australia which have bases here in the country. So you can explore so many UK universities, US universities. Embassies of different countries have new interest in our country in terms of technology and innovation. That what's happening in our country in the innovation. So they have lots of innovation advisors, innovation counselors, and science and technology specialists in different embassies. So that's also a great opportunity. A lot of universities are hiring special teams to manage global engagements, collaboration, sign policies. Like Ashoka University has a department called Agra, so they just manage research engagements of that entire university. So similarly, these kind of roles are also very niche skill set are coming up. So we've covered IPR management, research administration, scientific entrepreneurship, industry sector, science communication, fund management, investment, science policy and global management. On 8th, I had not made any specific slide, but just wanted to tell you that all these consultancy companies like Boston Consulting, Bain Consulting, McKinsey, Deloitte, EvalueServe, all of them employ life science graduates, life science professionals, because they do a lot of report writing, policy research. They do a lot of consulting for different government departments. HCL Technologies, TCH, all of them have a life science section, and they do R&D also. They do a lot of consulting for other companies, governments, and that's a very important area that they do. I used to work for a consultancy company for 10 years, and as a biotech consultancy company, we have written a lot of reports, we have done execution of programs, and that is what consultancy means. Ninth, other allied areas. So in case you really want to do something different, there is marine biology, there is clinical research, there's genetic counseling, there's forensic science. So you can pivot towards though bilkuli allied careers as well, and your knowledge of biotechnology would be used in that as well. So these are some of the modules of different alternate careers, and I think I've broadly covered all alternate careers, and maybe there may be some more, but this broadly covers different careers that are associated with biotechnology. Now, coming to the second last part of my presentation, I thought that we have seen a lot of theoretical stuff about what are the different career options. So I thought that maybe I'll show you some faces of people who are actually in different careers, and it will give you some motivation. And maybe you can look them up on LinkedIn and follow them, that what has been their career path. So Suvarna Pandey, she's a patent attorney with RNA technology. So I've already covered IPR management. Dr. Vadi Raja Bhatt, he's a business development manager with Agilent Technologies. So what is Agilent? So this is a very interesting career that I promote amongst a lot of students. That there are that if you have domain knowledge and if you have good marketing skills, you can work for biotechnology companies or biopharma companies which sell scientific equipment. So it combines both your marketing knowledge as well as domain expertise. So the next is Dr. Diksha Bhartiya. This is for PhD students. She's a PhD in bioinformatics, and after completing her PhD, she thought that let me do something. She's a PhD from CSIR IGIB. So her startup, her startup uses genetic data and uses bioinformatic tools to identify rare pediatric disorders and cancers. So, what are some of the other alternate careers? Dr. Vibhuti Agarwal, she's a PhD from JNU, and she thought that let me do something of my own, and has started an investment firm to fund biotech and healthcare startups. Dr. Binu Philip, head business development, Zydus Life Sciences. So this I wanted to portray to you students that in a biopharma company also business development is extremely important, and there are technical positions who understand the science also, and who are working in business development to form collaborations, deals with other smaller companies, academic institutes, and that's also a very important role. Then I have covered incubation manager also is a great fantastic alternate career. Gates Foundation, again, it's a funding agency, so that's a great career. Mr. Vivek is head regulatory affairs, B Brown Group. So, like I mentioned, that students generally don't look at regulatory affairs. That's a very huge division in any medtech company, biopharma company, biotech company. What does regulatory affairs do? So, any product cannot come to the market unless they have regulatory approval from the government. So, the regulatory affairs division helps in putting together all the documentation on behalf of the company to take approval from the government. एंड मीन्स दैट्स द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग. अगर आपका प्रोडक्ट बन गया है बट अगर उसको सरकार से अप्रूवल ही नहीं मिला है तो वो मार्केट में कैसे आएगा? So that's a substantial work being done by that division. Mr. Abhishek Kakkar, he's a BTech and he's looks at investments for a venture capital firm called Indian Angel Network. So I've also covered that what does a VC firm do. Again, we have an example of a science communicator, Dr. Himani. We have an example of a person working for a startup. So if you when you want to work for the biotech industry, it's not necessary that you work for a large company. You can work for startups as well. Then we have Miss Vandana Chawla. We have an example of a person working in academics and research for a group of a hospital. Dr. Siddharth is a PhD from JNU and he has his own startup in alternate protein. Dr. Syed, he's a science advisor for US Embassy. Dr. Ketan Thorat, he's the lead regulatory compliance in STEM, that's a Department of Biotechnology Institute. And these are some of the different alternate careers. So I thought that if you find something very interesting, you can actually follow them on LinkedIn, see what has been their career growth, what did they do, their bachelor's, master's, what additional skill sets they added to reach wherever they are. So I hope that you found all this very interesting, the different modules on alternate careers and the examples that I have shared. Now, coming to the almost to the end of my presentation, I thought that I'll just share with you what has been my journey. So, what I read very interestingly yesterday was that our career, our pathway is not straight line, and we have to take different turns as per our circumstances are. So I did my bachelor's in biochemistry from Ahmedabad in 2007. Then I did my master's in biotech from University of Queensland in Australia. Then I was enrolled for a PhD program, and but somehow there was some family issue, and I had to leave my PhD program and come back to India. And I was like really disappointed. Now what will I do? How will I do? But then, somebody gave me an idea that why don't you do IPR management? Why don't you add a new skill set? And it will help you find a better job. So I did that and I got my first job at Intas Biopharma. Again, suddenly I got married and then I had to change cities and I had not even completed 1 year of my job. And again, I was disappointed that, what will happen. And it took me 1 year to find another job, and it was not easy to find also when the interviews were going. Probably I was not the most best candidate, but with my interpersonal skills, with my attitude and aptitude, and with my working knowledge of the industry, I showcased that I would do a good job. So I'm just trying to say that how it's very important to have all those skill sets. Maybe the candidates who were appearing from the interview along with me had more domain knowledge, but I showed them the breadth of all the entire skill sets required by an employer. So moving on, I worked there for 10 years. Then I took a break for childcare. Then again, I thought that I want to change my job. So when you think of getting a career opportunity, तो career opportunity जब आपको career बनाना है तो ऐसा नहीं होता है कि आज मैंने सोचा कि I want to apply over here और वहाँ job मिल गई. I started working backwards, that now I want to change my job. How do I change my profile? Which are the different organizations working in that area? What are they doing? Who are the employers? Who are the decision makers? How will that I get a job? And I spent a good year and a half working in that direction. And then I started working in Regional Center for Biotechnology and Grant Management. Then moving on, I thought that, like I've showed in my presentation, upskilling is important. So I started my PhD in biotech policy and I'm still pursuing that. Then I thought that maybe I should foray into a different segment because startups are something that are very important. And then I joined Startup Center, IIT Kanpur. and due to health issues, I thought I should move on to some other job, and I joined Vadhani Foundation recently. But what I'm trying to say that throughout my 16 17 years of my career, whenever we want another job, we have to add some skill set to our profile and work towards it. So, just to conclude with my presentation, I would like all the students to remain updated with new trends and advancements. Please read newspapers, please read websites, and yeah, and focus on continuous learning and upskilling. There are so many courses available on Swayam portal, on Udemy, on Coursera. Please do keep doing something every quarter or every 6 months, along with your bachelor's, master's, PhD program. Participate in networking events. You have a very vibrant university. I'm sure there are events happening in your own department, in other departments, in with incubator. Please participate in all events, and meet new people from diverse backgrounds. When you go to an event, talk to different people. Stay motivated, stay focused, and please do not compare with your friends and your peers and your cousins. Focus on your journey, and just do your own thing. Yeah, so this is about the biotech entrepreneurship competition. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sparing your valuable time and sharing such insightful perspective on career pathway in biotechnology and bioengineering beyond academia. And you have covered a
Thank you. Thank
vast
you.
field. And your talk has surely inspired our student and participant to look beyond the traditional route and explore the vast opportunity that this field has to offer. So, as a token of our respect and appreciation, we want to offer a digital memento as a token of appreciation from on the behalf of our department and Galgotia University. So, and we are um, requesting you to kindly accept this digital memento.
Thank you.
So, through this virtual, but it carries our heartfelt gratitude for your gracious presence and valuable contribution today. I also extend sincere thanks to our dean, faculty member, organizing team, and all the participants for making this session successful. With your presence and active engagement, please fill out the feedback form to get the digital certificate. It has been posted into the chat box. So I request you all to fill out the feedback form and provide your valuable feedback to us. If you have any query, you can write in the chat box. I am enabled the chat box. So if you have any query and you want to ask, ma'am will address, or you can raise your hand. I will unmute you to ask the question. Anyone want to ask anything? Ma'am, some participants are asking for your PPT.
Sure, I'll send that. And I've also sent the link of the survey. If you could ask students to fill that as well.
Okay, so recording will be also provided. I will post you along with your participation certificate. I will upload this video for your reference, and you can watch anytime at the YouTube channel of Institution Innovation Council of Galgotia University.